Should we be happy that the head of Hamas, the political head of Hamas, Haniah, was eliminated, or the confirmation that the number two and head of the military of Hamas was eliminated, or that the chief of staff of Hezbollah was eliminated, the one who was responsible for the 12 children being killed last week, or 241, I think it was, American soldiers that were killed in Beirut in the bombings in the 80s, and many, many atrocities of Hezbollah. Should we be happy about it or not? Well, I saw a rabbi online saying, a colleague of mine, saying, well, our sages tell us that when the Egyptians were drowning in the sea, the angels wanted to sing a song. And God says, my children my created works are drowning here. You're saying a song. So maybe that means that, yes, we have to eliminate people, but it shouldn't bring us joy and happiness. Well, I want to totally and completely disagree. At the same time that God says this to the angels, we, the Jewish people, said a special song at the sea. As a matter of fact, we say it every single day that God has drowned them. And this is something that is actually very important because, when the difference between the angels and us is as follows. The angels live in a world of what could be, what should be, a time when there will be no evil, and therefore there won't have to be vengeance for evil. And therefore, in that level, that you should be aspiring, you should be living a world of redemptive world. There, you should be unhappy of the necessity that there is in this world to eliminate evil. But as we live in this world, it's imperative that evil is eradicated, and we be happy about it, just like we are in Purim, when Haman is hung and his 10 sons are hung, and we make a big deal about that on Purim. And on Pesach, not just that we were delivered, but our enemies were crushed. That's another aspect of our joy that we have on Pesach. Because if not, we become aloof, and when we become aloof to evil, we become we give it an opening. Evil has to be seen as such, and we have to call it out, and we have to be happy when it's eradicated. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, there's a beautiful interpretation by a mayor of Primishlan on the said Talmudic statement about the angels. He says as follows: when Sancherib, king of Assyria, 2,500 years ago or so, went up against King Chizkiyahu, and he marched with 180,000 troops onto Jerusalem. And Chizkiyahu was afraid, and what happened ultimately was that there was a miracle that many of those troops just died, didn't get up in the morning, and the rest just left, and Jerusalem was saved. So Mayor Blishlan says, how did they die? Well, we could say there was simply a plague. They got this some plague, and most of them caught it, and that's how they died. But on a spiritual level, the way they died is, it says every morning the angels sing to Hashem. And the song is so sweet and so beautiful and so ecstatic that if a human being would hear it, his soul would not be able to remain in his body. He would just expire. So the way they died, they heard the song of the angels, and their souls expired from their body. When the angels at the time of Egypt saw the Egyptians drowning in the sea, they said, you know what, we'll sing songs, and that's how they'll die. Why should they have to die this violent death? Let them just hear our song, and their souls will expire from their bodies. Says God to them, my children were drowned in the sea. These Egyptians drowned my children in the sea. They threw them in the Nile. And you're going to sing a song? That's how they should die? No. They're going to die this violent death. And so too we say today, after the horrors of October 7th, after we see the bus bombings of the second Intifada that Haniah was responsible for, after all the death and destruction and murder that these people achieved, and you want them not to die this kind of violent death? You shouldn't be happy when they're eliminated? Absolutely. Rejoice, Jewish people, for the enemies of the Jewish people, which are the enemies of Hashem, have been eliminated. That's what our attitude should be. Absolutely 100%. Because only that kind of attitude will get rid of the next group of anti-Semites. Will get rid of those who are continuing to want to eliminate us. And yes, we hope to a day when Mashiach will come, and then we'll be at a level where there won't be any evil in the world, and we won't need to eradicate any evil. So that will be a different time. But now we have to live in the real world and be excited and happy that the enemies of God and the Jews have been eliminated.